Welcome back to the AI Almanac. I make AI news easy to understand for everyone. Lots of stuff this week, including the Grok 3 release, JD Vance's AI speech in Europe, what the death of the Humane AI Pin can teach startup founders, and a few other speed round items. Before we get started, if you saw this O1 prompt diagram circulating all over LinkedIn and X this week, OpenAI co-founder Greg Brockman got all the credit for it when, in fact, my brother made it. Look at the original post. It bothers me when someone creates something that is useful for a lot of people, but the big guys still get credit for it. So please, if you see this diagram, please tag me or make sure you give my brother Ben Hylack credit. First up, so much drama with Grok this week, so let's unpack it. xAI released its new flagship AI model, Grok 3, early last week, along with updates to the Grok iOS and web apps. And according to Musk, it is the best AI model currently in existence. If you don't fully understand what Grok is, it's basically another model that is exactly like what's fueling ChatGPT. It can answer questions, analyze images, generate them, etc. It is being described as significantly more capable than its predecessor Grok 2, with Elon saying Grok 3 is trained specifically as a maximally truth-seeking AI, even if the findings sometimes stray away from what is currently considered politically correct. Grok 3 is offered as a family of two models, including Grok 3 Reasoning, which is a dedicated reasoning model that self-checks their output, as well as Grok 3 Mini for faster responses with a slight accuracy trade-off. Early benchmarks like AIME and GPQA reportedly favor Grok 3 over competitors such as GPT-4o, and the new deep search feature in the Grok app enhances AI-powered research even as some features remain in beta. Here's where it gets so saucy though. French hackers have shown that bypassing Grok 3's safety filters is a walk in the park, letting users get dangerously creative with requests such as building a bomb or how to hide a body. Despite Musk's hype about an uncensored AI, Grok 3 still tries to block harmful stuff, though not very well, apparently. The drama took another twist when it identified Musk, Trump, and JD Vance as the three most dangerous people to America, and another user showed that when asked to pick someone who deserved the death penalty, it first said Jeffrey Epstein, then switched gears to Donald Trump when it was prompted to be a real living person who could actually suffer from the death penalty. So clearly Grok's AI safety is not really there, for better or for worse. My initial thoughts, over the last 6 months, I feel like these AI safety guardrails have been overkill. I can't even generate an image of global warming from data centers with Gemini or DALL-E, and with companies like OpenAI ditching their clauses that strive for unbiased AI, it feels like we are moving towards the model developers deciding what facts are true. So I think I lean towards a free, uncensored approach, even though Grok 3 kind of comes off as reckless, so I'm unsure what the right AI safety balance is here. Second, the US Vice President JD Vance shocked Europe during his speech at the Munich Security Conference by declaring that the continent's greatest threat wasn't Russia or China, but rather itself.
Worry the most about vis-a-vis Europe is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is the threat from within.
He spent most of the speech accusing European governments, including the UK's, of drifting away from their values and ignoring voters' concerns over migration, and also alleged that EU officials are suppressing free speech. The speech was met with a noticeable silence in the hall and was later strongly criticized by several politicians. German Defense Minister called the remarks not acceptable, and the EU's foreign policy chief described Vance as trying to pick a fight with Europe, one of the US's closest allies. Vance's address focuses more on culture war topics and echoes themes from the Trump campaign, marking a departure from the usual security and defense discussions at this conference. My initial thoughts, I typically break up my reporting by giving you the hard facts first, followed by my opinion. For the first time, I don't feel comfortable publishing and giving my actual thoughts on this one. I think that should tell you all you need to know. Third, the Humane AI Pin is dead. Can you see my shocked face? This was probably the worst AI product all year. The Humane AI Pin launched in April as a wearable alternative to a cell phone, but it was a complete flop. The tech barely worked, the live translation feature didn't translate at all, but rather repeated it back in offensive accents, and it just didn't actually solve anything someone who is wanting to get away from a cell phone would actually want. Humane stated that all of their products will stop working at the end of February, and they made a deal to sell all of their remaining parts to the printing company HP. My initial thoughts on this one: when I was living in SF about 6 months ago, I saw this pin with my brother waiting for a coffee from one of Humane's devs. It was different. It was also virtually useless. I think the bigger thing here is this startup was led by ex-Apple people, something they really advertised as being the best of the best. But as ex-FANG employees, they proved they're out of touch with the needs of everyday users because they're used to operating on this enormous scale on the backs of an already successful company. Just because you were part of a FANG company, it doesn't automatically make you revolutionary or creative enough to successfully capture your end users' needs. So yeah, a lot of things to learn here for startup owners. Ship things your users actually need. And last, a speed round. Update 4, chip designer ARM, known for licensing designs to big names like Apple and Nvidia, is now planning to make its own chips. The Financial Times reports that ARM is set to launch its first in-house chip this summer, with Meta as one of its first customers. By building and selling its own chip, ARM might end up competing with some of its biggest clients. Update 5, Figure founder and CEO Brett Adclock revealed a new model for humanoid robots called Helix.
Hey Figures, can you come here?
This generalist vision language action system, or VLA, uses visual data and language prompts to control robots in real time, much like Google DeepMind's R2. The announcement came just 2 weeks after the firm stepped away from an OpenAI collaboration. According to Figure, Helix allows humanoid robots to pick up thousands of new household items simply through NLP instructions. And last, update 6, former OpenAI CTO Mir Murati, co-founder John Schulman, and ex-chief research officer Barrett Soff have all left OpenAI to launch a new venture called Thinking Machines Lab. The startup, which emerged from stealth mode this week, aims to build tools that make AI work for people's unique needs and goals, and develop systems that are more understandable, customizable, and capable than what is currently available. According to their blog post, Thinking Machines Lab will focus on creating multimodal systems that work collaboratively with people and adapt to full spectrum of human expertise. While it's not entirely clear what their exact focus is going to be, we can assume that they're planning to build more models. I actually find it hilarious because all of OpenAI's leadership team basically just said peace and start their own thing together. So gotta keep an eye on this one. And that's it for this week. I appreciate every like, comment, subscribe. You know, again, I do this in my free time for fun, to keep myself accountable, to help you guys stay up on top of the news. So any sort of support really means a lot to me. Please let me know your thoughts and comments, and I will talk to you all next week.